Lower the sound a little bit. How's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Dr. Next Time today. Welcome back to a stream. And alright, I'm gonna turn the sound off here. That's such a good song though. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the streams. It's been a bit, but I kinda, you know, wanted to stream tonight, and it's a good time. I beat Tears of the Kingdom earlier today, and that's just how it is. I beat it earlier today. Finally, I started playing it like in August. No, I don't know when I first started playing it. I beat Breath of the Wild, and then I started playing Tears of the Kingdom pretty much right afterwards, and that's just how things worked. But it took me a while to beat it because I played a lot at the start and then kind of took a break, and then in the last week or two, last few weeks, I've kind of pushed and finally beat the game. And when I say beat, I mean I beat the main story. Now I did about 80 shrines. I'm eventually maybe go for all 152, although that's a lot. So who knows when I'll be able to do that. And I had not done all the side quests. There's a lot of side quests I just didn't do. I did some of them. I did a lot of the cool ones. A lot of the cool ones. I did a few. I did like the journalist one. That's all I'll say. But before I turn the gameplay on, it is best to do due diligence. And as soon as I turn the game on, you're gonna see spoilers. Like, you're gonna see some pretty big spoilers of what, even just like as soon as I turn the game on. So if you haven't played the game and you care about spoilers and whatnot, this is your one warning to get out, because I'm gonna be playing the game. I don't know what I'll be doing. I'll probably try to either do side quests or just go around and explore, maybe try to collect some stuff. But I want to do my best to talk about what I like about Tears of the Kingdom and, you know, everything about it. But it's gonna go major spoilers almost immediately. So this is your last warning to get out, and then I'll turn the gameplay on. Okay. All right. I've given enough warning. There we go. Okay. So let me first I'm gonna figure out what I gotta do. As you can see, I've done a lot. Okay, let's see here. How about, because it's kind of it's what I like to do. I'm gonna do depths exploring while I talk about Tears of the Kingdom, because, you know, it's pretty good. Depths exploring is kind of the thing, something I can do conscious, like, you know, without having to really care. And I don't really want to focus on side quests or even do shrines right now, because I've done a lot of shrines, and the final boss actually wasn't. So I'll get to the final boss. Let me just. I also didn't upgrade my equipment because I haven't done this Great Fairy stuff, because I don't like doing the Great Fairy stuff. So I'll just go with this and. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna do a shot in the dark and just go this way, and I'll see what happens. So let me talk about Tears of the Kingdom. Overall, I very much enjoy the game, like a lot. In my opinion, this is my opinion. As first things first, more due diligence. I am not a seasoned Zelda guy. literally the only two Zelda games I've actually completed are Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I have messed around in Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, years ago, for like hacks and whatnot, and I've played Hyrule Warriors, both Hyrule Warriors games, although I have not completed neither of those games. So I am definitely like the kind of typical, didn't really complete a Zelda game until freaking Breath of the Wild. I was so like I'm kind of used to this type of Zelda game, and that is just, you know, due diligence. You know, I'm not some sort of Zelda, you know, I'm not some sort of expert on the Zelda series. Although I am considering, I also do think, oh frick. No, I don't really want to fight right now. Just run. Actually, I can do okay. Sorry, I don't know why I got into a second fight. Because he's so far behind me now. I'm gonna win. Gotta run. All right. Anyway, so I'm not a seasoned Zelda fan, but I did very much enjoy Breath of the Wild. I thought it was amazing, and especially because of, like, you know, I don't really play tons of open world games. I mean, only open world games I've really played are like Skyrim and Death Stranding, if you want to count that. But it was amazing. I thought it was spectacular. And I think Tears of the Kingdom, in my opinion, improves on Breath of the Wild in every conceivable way, in my opinion. I think the flaws of Breath of the Wild, and I think, you know, they're not ton. Well, I think there are a few flaws. First things first, I think just having no story in Breath of the Wild pretty much did really harm it. I get it, that's not in the spirit of the actual game, but it didn't have a story. And even though I know Zelda games have never been like super deep story, even this one's not really that like super deep. I'll get some pillows here. But it didn't have one. It was just very tacked on, and that makes sense because it wasn't even required. But it didn't have a story, and I don't think that's a, you know, I mean, it was in the spirit of the game, but I mean, I would have preferred a story, and I think it does better with a proper story. But again, there's also the exploration factor, but I think the exploration factor in this game is also really good, even though with the story. It's different, it's going for a different kind of game, as in it's a more serious, it's immediately, you know, it's not just like you automatically see, like, you know, you already see the big bad at the start, and he already calls you, like, he already names you by name, and he calls you by name, and like knows who you are, and like he means business. So it's going for a different style, and I think that works. And I've enjoyed this more than Breath of the Wild, and I'm gonna talk about why. Even though I'm not exactly the best at using the freaking the building stuff, like the Zonai devices, they are amazing, and whenever I have used them, it's been fun. I've seen some like amazing builds, and you know, I never got to that point where I could like I tried a few of those things. I think I tried like the main one I tried to like copy was the like the hover cart thing, or the hover cycle. That was my one I tried. I really didn't do a good job. Mainly, I just kept using the one I usually used. I did like, it was a cart, a wing, and some fans that make like a biplane. That was the coolest thing for me. But I think it was very well done, and I mean, there's a lot of things you can use it to just beat, you know. A lot of them you can just beat. Used to just completely skip stories. Okay, I think I'm just going past. I think I've already done that. No, I haven't, because that's one I haven't done yet. But I mean, just how you're able to, you know, really mess around with things, and a lot of the puzzles, especially in like it was the dungeon. I think the first off the Spirit Tomb or the Spirit Temple. Well, no, not really the Spirit Temple. The Fifth Sage mission was very good, and it really utilized the stinking, you know, Zone 9 devices and really used it in a decent creative way. And then stinking doing I think I did the one of the side quests I did do was the what was it? Yeah, it's the Call from the Depths. It's where it's basically like you go back to the starting area of the first game, and you get a call from the depths. You get like and they have like 4 like pieces or like parts where the 4 original tutorial shrines were, and you got to bring them to the main area and put them in. You get and it's a really good request because it gets you a stinking heart container, which is like you know, it gives you a free or not heart container, but a free upgrade, which is nice. And I did that, and that also, each of those 4 things required you basically to drop the thing down into drop an item down into the depths and then get it over to, I think it's the actual, it was the central mine. Where is it? Yeah, here. To get it to here, the Grand Central Abandoned Central Mine. You know, you have to get it from 4 spots, and then it gets to here, and that was very fun. And it was really cool, and I got to really experiment. That's actually, I think, where I first used like the stinking biplane with, so I get a wing with a cart and some fans, and that was really cool. So I think the Zone 9 devices, and with what I've seen people do, it's amazing. And I think that it was definitely the logical, not logical, it was definitely a good thing to improve on, like because the whole idea of Breath of the Wild, it's in the title. It's in like the idea of it's baked into the game design of exploration, looking around, have like, you know, seeing what you can find at your own pace, doing whatever you want. And a way to add, because like if you just add the story back into the game, because the story is back, it without anything other, it definitely does take away from like that, you know, do whatever you want. Even though you can still do that, it's still definitely not baked fully into the game design. So adding an aspect of, you can now make things you can move things around, you can combine things, you get to customize things, and you get to make your own contraptions that can be used however you want them to be used, is a good way to continue that philosophy while also adding the story for the people who like the story and making the story more better. And I think that's a big plus for the game. Other gameplay wise, I think, I mean, to be fair, I have not touched. Oh, what in the world? Oh, I've actually gotten to the spot where I wanted to go. I'll do it in there. I haven't touched Breath of the Wild since Tears of the Kingdom, like since I started playing Tears of the Kingdom, so I do not know it, but I don't. Oh crap! Piece of crap. Okay, all right, guys, I'm not doing this. Okay, fine, I'll fight. Oh my goodness, the trees. All right, all right. Oh, there you go, you're dead. Oh, dang it. Easy one-shots. Oh, crap. Alright, that's it. I'm not gonna deal with this. I don't need to deal with this. I'm just trying to run. I don't really want to have to deal with this. I kind of just want to explore. Oh, goodness. I need to get out of the forest. It's all a bunch of crazy possessed trees. Freaking trees, that was like the stupidest. That was the funniest thing. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people made the joke when they first saw like the tree monsters, like, oh crap, all the times that I basically like deforested in Breath of the Wild's coming back to bite me. I'm pretty sure a lot of people made that joke. Because I do remember going to like the Faron Woods and deforesting the whole place to get enough wood for the Terrytown side quest. That was, I'm pretty sure a lot of people made that joke. Anyway, but I don't notice too much of a difference between like I don't think Leaf moves that much different. I think it's pretty much the exact same. And that, I mean, that was like one of the best parts. The physics engine of Breath of the Wild is amazing, and it's one of the biggest reasons why that game is so good gameplay wise, is how the physics work and how you can use them. And in this game, the physics help you. You can learn more about that physics engine because now you use that physics engine to. All right, well, who's fighting me? Okay. Oh crap! All right. Oh, okay. I'll use this. Sorry, where's the horsey? I'll try to get the horsey. Haha. This is fun. Alright. But I mean, the physics engine, and now that you can use that physics, oh frick, I don't want to fight that. I don't really want to fight. I kind of just want to have fun. But the physics engine, now that you can use that physics engine to your advantage, and you kind of rely on it now with the, you know, the contraptions and whatnot, you can also kind of do things that the physics engine wouldn't allow you otherwise. Which is another benefit of having that system in there. And so I'm glad they kept that in. This might be the last time we have this kind of game. It's kind of cool, like, because I saw the interview. I thought that I was wondering, like, why haven't they done DLC yet? And they're probably not going to do DLC. It's front and center dry. They might come back to this world. They might go into, like, you know, a new area completely. We'll see. I just saw that interview. But this is the final time with this type. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, because, like, the thing is, these games were the most popular kind of games, like Zelda-wise. Like, these games outsold. These games are some of the most popular. First off, they're some of the best Switch games ever made, and they're also some of the best-selling Switch games and the best-selling Legend of Zelda game by far. So, and it is kind of a reboot in a sense, if you can really call it. I mean, it is, like, by definition, it is a reboot in the sense that, like, it's going back. First off, it's more like going back to the, you know, it was going back to the original idea of Legend of Zelda, which was a lot of exploration. So it's not really a reboot, it's more of a refocus. Alright, I'm gonna melt this thing. Just kinda want that my phone. Actually, I might need it. I want to go this way. Hi guys. Okay. Alright. Think I want to, like, do more depth exploration. What are these? Oh, that's all the chasms. And it looks like there's like a break off, so I'm actually gonna try. I'm gonna go to the abandoned Gerudo mine, and I'm gonna walk and try going through that. That'll be fun. Oh, it's like hyperspeed. That's kind of cool. But I'm you know, this might be the last time we have this type of Zelda game. It'll always have inspirations, and maybe they come back to it. But we'll see. We will definitely see. But the gameplay was, I think, honestly, the gameplay, in my opinion, is just better than Breath of the Wild. I think the addition of, like, I think with the weapon fusion as well. The one thing I will say is that so they took out original arrows. Like, they took out arrows. And so now arrows, like, because in Breath of the Wild there was, like, fire arrows, bomb arrows, ancient arrows, all that stuff, and they just used the fuse mechanic, which is fine. Although I'm pretty sure I did not I mean, there were some times where I basically kind of just stick with a lot of the similar things. It's like there were basically, like, those type of arrows. I really didn't do tons of custom, like, exploration about that, like, that mechanic. You know, some of them I did, some of them I didn't. So but I basically kind of use the exact same things all the time, because that's just I mean, I think I get the idea. I just don't know. I mean, it's just not gonna be. I didn't use it as much as other people probably, as much as probably they were hoping for people to use it. So I mean, I really didn't get any use, tons of use, but I like the idea. It's just most of the time it was pretty. I just kind of made it redundant, because like I'm a man, and I was like I just kind of like I like my bombs, so I like shooting bombs throughout with my arrows. So all right, I'm going to make it. I'm just going to throw there. I'm gonna get to the lighthouse here. Alright. Okay. Having 3 bars of stamina is so good. I never actually, in Breath of the Wild, I never got the 3 bars of stamina. But, so I made a beeline for getting 3 bars of stamina, and it's such a good thing to get. Alright, there we go. Just gonna need to climb. But the actual fuse mechanic with the weapons is amazing. I love it. And I mean, sometimes I feel like, the thing is, I do what I don't like, is I didn't like how things clipped all the time. I didn't like that. I don't like clipping, like things that clip. And but like I really, especially when I started like really putting the monster parts is really how you get your good weapons, and that's how, and like also the construct parts. And it's just cool, you get so many cool weapons, and then also the Master Sword, but like you can get you can turn, also you can turn a lot of things into pretty good weapons. And that's the coolest thing. So the fuse mechanic was amazing. And like the actual puzzle, like the the arm mechanics. They replaced the Sheikah, they replaced the Sheikah Slate abilities, and I think it has like magnetism combined. Oh frick, the miner stuff. I did not know this. But like I think they had the magnetism one, and this was really cool. Just allowed you to make things and also like combine things together, which would allow a lot of really cool puzzle mechanics. Ascend was like the best, and they designed it pretty well. Like they designed it in, now there was times where it is like maybe a little broken, but it's just nice, you can just go up above things, and it really improved, also made it easier to get out of like caves and whatnot. Oh, you crystallized charges, that's really sick. I don't even know what they're dropping, they just have crystallized charges around here. Man, and there's a good pull up there. And then again, the fuse mechanic, and also recall was really cool. Like these all mechanics were amazing, and I'm glad they exist. And I'm glad, like, I think they were used very well. I think the puzzle, so shrines, I overall I've only done 80 shrines, but I think that's a good amount. 80 out of 152. Most of them, I mean, they don't have any more stinking like a test of strength. They had some combat training ones, but those were like tutorial ones. The only shrines I didn't particularly like is I didn't like the Proving Ground shrines. They're based off the Evertide Island challenge. I get that, and actually I was actually on Evertide Island earlier today. I have to eventually try to get into that shrine to see, because I would assume, if I'm gonna be honest, the Evertide Island shrine has to be either, unless it's like unless it's not, which could be, I mean, to be fair, I could be wrong, because it is like locked already, so it might just be a Ralu's, a blessing shrine where the puzzle is to get to the shrine. But I would assume, because the whole idea for Proving Grounds is literally ripped from Evertide Island from Breath of the Wild, that it's like the ultimate, it's like the final Proving Grounds. It's like meant to be like the culmination of all the Proving Grounds. I did not like the Proving Grounds. I mean, I completed a few of them, but they were my least favorite shrine puzzle. Just, I don't like not having all my stuff. Sometimes, I mean, it depends on some of them I was able to beat, but like there's a few. The only some of the few shrines that I have discovered but not beaten are Proving Ground shrines. simply because I just did not like them that much. And also, I'm not good. Like, I'm not exactly the best at combat. Like, I can handle fighting, you know, random doofuses, but no, combat. I mean, it's kind of a rigid system. It's the combat in you know Zelda. It's fine. It's serviceable. I'm just not always fully used to it because I'm used to having dodge rolls and whatnot. But I'm just not good at it. And also, I think it's just when I eventually figure out strategies, the problem is I just take too many hits. I'm not good at like dodging, and like I have to get better at dodging. That's actually what I really kind of relied on in the final fight, which I'll get to that eventually. I'm gonna talk about things, but I want to ramble. I'm rambling because I want to ramble. I want to stream, and I want to play this pretty awesome game. What's here? All right, there's another one. All right. But the shrines, but overall with the shrines I liked. I think I think the puzzles are pretty good. I think they're shorter. A lot of them are really a lot shorter than Breath of the Wild shrines. And I like that. I think shrines, especially because in this game there's a lot more, like especially the dungeons are a lot better and there's a lot more to do. I think having the shrines as what they are, pretty short, pretty smaller, but still really good, and I think puzzle wise they're really well done. Let's see here. Oh frick. They're coming after me. The squad mans are coming. The squad mans are coming. Alright, I got one. The squad mans are coming. But overall, the shrines, the puzzles were good, and they were enjoyable. They weren't too time consuming, but they were fun and they were challenging in some areas. So I'm glad with the shrines. I'm gonna try to. Since I have gotten spoiled on the reward, I have taken a look at the rewards for being off 151 shrines, 52 shrines actually, and it's interesting. I'd love to mess around with that armor, and I want to have fun with it. So I'll eventually, I'll have a better opinion probably after I beat all the shrines, but from what I, you know, yo, frick me, bro. No, I don't really want to fight right now. Crap. I sure really want to focus on fighting because I want to talk, but I really can't. I'm not good at talking while I'm fighting, so that's why I'm not fighting. Oh frick. Oh no, it's the Yiga stuff. It's got the squad mans, they got the guys and they got the ops and the cops. They have the ops, like freaking. I actually wanted to fire up a stream one time when I first like found like one of the Yiga bases where they had just mans and like they had guys and like stinking like jeeps and whatnot just patrolling, and that was hilarious in my opinion. Alright, I'm freaking back. I'm already back at the Gerudo mine. Dang, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Here, I'll go here. But the shrines were good. I think they were. I think they're. I think they're not really improved. I mean, I like them. They're shorter, but like some people might. I mean, they're pretty much the exact same. And the shrines are fine in Breath of the Wild, so I love the shrines, and I think that using them as upgrades is amazing, and stuff like that. Korak seeds, I really didn't care about. I got a decent amount for what I wanted. I like that there's a lot of double Korak seeds, which is really cool. But you know, I still didn't do them because I sometimes just kind of got bored. But I have. If you look on my map, I have a ton of Koraks that I haven't done, which I'll maybe do them eventually. I don't know. So that was that. I still think. I mean, armor wise, armor in this game, I have not gotten all the armors, but I never really used a lot of the armors that they took out. Like, I really never did. And I think design wise, I think the armors have gotten better. Like, I think, let's see here. I mean, the depths armor, I haven't even got the full depths armor, but this looks pretty sick. This thing got, you know, the glide stuff. Here you got the glide suit, which is awesome looking. Obviously, a lot of the armors from the first game come back, including this terrible Flamebaker armor. And they also allowed you to get amiibo armor without amiibo. Also the elemental armors, which were also very cool. I got both Ember and Charge set. I never got the Frosted set. I never got that Mystic armor either. And then I also got I got the one Zonai set, which is on that pain in the rear island up at the top, which just like was a pain to get to, but I freaking got to it and it was sick. I might have to go for the other ones. It really does help with the Zonai stuff, especially as I don't have tons of, you know, Zonai equipment. And also the new Champion's Tunic is amazing too. I think actually having Liquid without long hair is freaking awesome. So that's that. I'll say that. Let me put the earrings back on though. And then allowing to get amiibo armor without amiibo, like I got the full Fierce Deity set, which I do actually have. Like I got like for Breath of the Wild, I bought like these. Like this company was sending like NFC cards that had all the amiibo on them. So I have like all the Zelda amiibo, like in function, not in form, but in function. And so I have gotten like some things. But technically, you don't need an amiibo to get all the amiibo stuff. And the amiibo are still very powerful and helpful, especially even though weapons in this game basically need to be fused to be useful. Oh. I think that's a boss probably. Okay. Look at the bonflowers. The depths is weird. And it's pretty much optional. Like the only depth stuff that is required is like the Sage arm or the 5th Sage. It's not even 5th Sage isn't even required. You have to face the boss. But yeah, gameplay. I'll just summarize gameplay. I like the gameplay. I think it's with the added like contraption things with Zonai devices. The Sky Islands, like exploring the Sky Islands, exploration in this game was cool. I mean I'm playing the depths right now. The depths is pretty optional. And it's doubling the size. Now, I will say, it doubles the size of the map. Actually, technically, it's basically the size of Hyrule's map. And there is a lot to do there that I even haven't done. Like a lot, I haven't done. I attempted one Coliseum, got freaking owned. Like I'm not doing that right now. But I will say that while it is doubling the size of the map, it is obviously not going to be as good as the original Hyrule map. Like this map is really good, and there's a lot of, even in the sequel, Tears Kingdom does a really good job of giving you things to do. So while it is doubling the size of the map, like the thing is, right, the depths usually is like the depths is a good example of usually most open world games, in my opinion, have things similar to the depths, where their open world besides the main quests are like the depths, maybe even a little worse than the depths. If the depths was all you had, it's not a good open world game. It is a good add-on though, and it is cool to explore, and there's a lot of cool stuff there. But it is definitely a good add-on. It is not, most games have like a depths and that's it. And like you don't want, the depths is a good add-on to an open world game. It does not make a good open world game itself. That's like the best thing I could say. And I like it. It is just like, some of it is a lot of just, exploration. Especially, but if you use the devices, you can really have fun exploring it. So gameplay was freaking awesome overall. Now I'm gonna get into story, and story affects gameplay as well. But first things first, the opening was amazing. Like the opening 10 minutes or so I mean, the whole opening like sequence, where the game you immediately turn the game on, and immediately you're starting the like this opening sequence. It's freaking genius. And you start the game, you immediately are started with the Zonai stuff, which you know are actually in the original game in Breath of the Wild, but they were very like hidden. And it makes sense maybe because Tears of the Kingdom was originally trying to be made as stinking a DLC for Breath of the Wild, but was expanded upon into a full game. So that's the cool thing. And you get freaking, you know, you get Ganondorf. I mean, it is Ganondorf. You pretty much know it's Ganondorf unless you are like completely new to Zelda. But if you have anything, it's Ganondorf. He's there and he's dead. And you're like, what in the world happens? He mentions Rauru and he knows your name for some reason. And then you have a hand there as well, which is holding him in, which held freaking Ganondorf in. And then you lose the Master Sword. The Master Sword, which you also have full hearts and full, you know, stamina, like this, like you're fully built up and ready to go. And then this doofus just instantly takes you out, and he takes you down to 3 hearts, you know, down to 1-0, and he already like has like you shook. Oh crap, that's really good. He already has you like asking like, bro, this guy's powerful, and it's insane. And that's a good opening. Then you freaking get owned. Zelda just disappears off somewhere, and your arm's dead, and you're like done. And then you immediately the sky. Whoa. I want to actually try something here. That was the best thing I ever did. I never knew I could just use him as freaking mining opportunity. That's freaking sick. But immediately you get into like the story, or immediately you're like, whoa. You're asking questions like, this guy's more powerful than the Master Sword, that the Master Sword only touches him. It does hurt him, but it's weak and it immediately shatters. Alright, I'm out. I'm actually just gonna go to the central mine, actually. Because I'm not gonna so you can deal with that. And then you go to the first tutorial, the first island, and immediately you're also into like the Skyward Sword idea of like having the islands in the sky. You start on a sky island, you freaking get a zombie hand, and then Rauru freaking like you get Rauru, which is kind of cool. You get to talk to Rauru, which you don't actually talk to him for the rest of the game. Like Link never talks to him afterwards, and you don't really know about him much until if you do the you know, memories. Let's go here. I have 91 zone our crystallized charges, which is really cool. But you immediately, so in the first, like, the tutorial island's really well done. I think it's, I don't know if, I mean, it's, you can go back there a lot if you want, especially if you want to get like the battery upgrades. And it's a cool area, and it's I think it's a good start for the first area. And you get the archaic gear, you get the links to this long hair, you know, freaking like, you also do get like the damaged Master Sword. And then you go through the tutorial island, you talk to Rob, you get all your abilities, and then you get the freaking like the opening where you freaking put it on the thing and it goes back in time. And then you see Zelda with the sword. And then after that, you see the dragon come up, and you have no idea what the dragon actually means. And then you get, you know, the thing of Link, you must find me, and then you go on and you like that, and then you go down and have fun. It's really cool. And alright, bro, you're not gonna deal with me right now. Dead. So, bro, you're not gonna find me. I'm sorry. I hate going into forest. If I go into forest, they're all gonna come out and just start attacking me. I hate that. But after that, you go into like the show, you meet all the characters, you meet Pura, you go in like that, and I think it's really cool like, first off, it is actually a pretty good follow-up. Like, I think there is like the idea like no one freaking recognizes you for some reason. Like certain characters like that, you know, you helped out. Hey, bro. And Rosie's dead. My word. Rosie. I freaking outfitted the mech with cannons. With a cannon and it's freaking overpowered. But I think then, I think the story really gets. I mean, it's like the questions you're asking a lot of questions, and then you get the stinking the geoglyphs. The memories in this game are amazing. I think they're. All right, broski. Like the memories in this game. The cutscenes, they're well done, and I think there's a lot more action in them, and I think they're all pretty much amazing. And the story, like, you know, you see Ganondorf, you see like he just kind of feel. The only thing I will say is that Ganondorf kind of does just kind of stare. He's menacing. He looks amazing. The design is awesome. I wish there's a Hyrule Warriors game coming out, or like they did like a Pirate Warriors, but they had him in a Cage of Calamity DLC or something like that. But the design is like amazing, and the actual like ending with him and his final fight and all that, it's awesome. He does kind of appear, and he shows up in the memories, and that's cool. But I do kind of wish he was a little bit more involved. But it makes sense why he's not. It would have just been cool. I completely messed this up. I'm actually just. All right. But it's fine. He's cool. He's voiced by Matt Mercer. He's freaking voiced well. He's cool. And you have Zelda going back in time. You get to see first like the founding of this version of Hyrule, and it's awesome. It's amazing. You know, the art direction is awesome. The actual cutscene direction is awesome. Like characters like Rabu's awesome. They have, you know, they do some really cool stuff. They freaking introduce like the idea of the dragon. So why the dragons exist is because people. The whole idea of why the dragons exist is because people ate the secret stones, and that's really cool. And immediately, the one thing is you immediately kind of know, like, okay, Zelda is probably gonna have to go back to get back into the present. Zelda's gonna turn into a dragon, and that's cool. You go through it, you freaking have, you know, freaking Ganondorf doing his laughy crap thing, freaking kill Sonya, and then you know have the final fight, and especially that like the confrontation, which. The one thing I will say is you have like the 4 sages, and you have the 4 major sages, and then you have to go through like, you know, like the typical Breath of the Wild, what Breath of the Wild did, where you have to go to the 4 areas of Hyrule, team up with somebody, and then go through a dungeon, and then fight a boss, you know, with them. And it's cool. But you know the one thing I will say is you basically have to, because of the idea of you having to go through it again. Like it's like, or like the idea of like this, you go in any order, it means you're gonna see the same basics, the same cutscene 4 times in a row. Like you're seeing the basic imprison, like I'm telling you about the imprisoning war 4 times in a row, and it's the exact same. And there's not, I mean, the only real difference is honestly actually in the Gerudo one, which is like they mentioned that freaking Ganondorf's a Gerudo, who was a Gerudo chief and all that. So that's cool, but it is just kind of like. I didn't need to see it 4 times. The 5th one tells the whole story, and that cutscene's freaking amazing. Because it freaking, you know, talks like he wants to, you know, Link and stuff like that. Link shows up and whatnot. That's pretty freaking cool. So, that's awesome. But I wish, I don't know exactly the best. The thing is, I don't know another way they could have done it. Because you do want to have that open world aspect where you can go whichever way you want. You kind of have to have the same kind of cutscene, depends, because you can fully get the idea. And to be fair, I actually did the first like dungeon without doing the first geoglyph. I knew there was memories in the game, I just didn't know how to do them. And so I first saw Zelda in the past through that. I was like, Zelda's just freaking in the past. And you know, and then eventually as you go through the memories, it's really cool. You get to get kind of the full picture, and it's really interesting. It gets you context. It gets you like why these things happen as they did. Time travel in Zelda's always been cool. I mean, it's baked into the series of time travel. That's what makes the whole the whole timeline so confusing. because it doesn't really need timelines. It's kind of more of an internal continuity. But there, you know, there's stuff like that, and I think it ends in a good fight. And I think the characters for what they are pretty well done. I think Rauru is interesting. I mean, Zelda is obviously the thing is Zelda is like Zelda has been like the primary, like even like especially in this game it is very Zelda centric. I don't know why they haven't had you play as Zelda yet. Maybe, I mean, who knows, they might do that, might not. Although I think you gotta keep Link as the guy, because the thing is though is that they do have that lore, and I get that they break the lore all the time. I get that. But the idea is the chosen hero is the only one who can defeat Ganon. That's the idea. And they could break it. People have done it a lot. I don't think they will. I think they like that formula. They like changing it up, obviously, like changing up the actual way of how that gets done. But they're not going to change that kind of story aspect. And I think the characters are really well done overall. I think the overall theme of sacrifice is a cool one to have, and I think the writing is good for what it is. Zelda doesn't have really any good like super big character writing, like where like the characters are super deep. Even Ganondorf's not that deep. He's actually very shallow overall. I mean, he's menacing, but he is just pure evil and he just wants to take over the world, and that's it. And there's no real backstory why. I mean, not that I needed that. He's never had tons of that, but that's just how it is. That's just how Zelda games probably are, I think, most of the time. So I'm rambling. These are not coherent thoughts at all, but I'm just having fun. That's all I'm doing. But it does lead into a nice final fight. The final fight is epic. It's also pretty hard. It's like that final sequence. Because like the actual bosses, like I didn't have too much trouble on most of the bosses. Only the first trouble I had was on the first one because I ran out of arrows, and so I had to restart that fight. Then I think I did the other ones pretty much automatic, pretty much one take. It was very easy overall. I did look at a guide, but you know, actually I think for the last few fights I didn't even look at a guide. I just kind of, even for the final fight, for the Ganon fight, I never looked at a guide at all. The Ganon fight I actually freaking died at, mainly because I was underprepared, because I was kind of starting to blitz through the game a little bit. Wasn't really taking my time. I kind of wanted to get things done. Ooh, got a cave. That's already anything done. And so I really wanted to just get through the game a little bit, so I was kind of starting, like, I was going through fights, not really preparing. And then I did prepare a little bit for Ganondorf, but I wasn't really prepared for what I was going to be facing, which is that final few sequences where you have that fight where you go against the Horde. It's a Horde mechanic, which is a really cool mechanic in the game. But in every hit is if you take damage, you're not going to get those hearts back unless you have prepared for the sun, for gloom stuff. And so I prepared. The first time I didn't have any. I only had up for one recovery, which is before the Ganondorf fight. And then also I just didn't know the Ganondorf attack patterns, and so I kind of really messed up. So then I failed the fight, but thankfully you don't save, so I already have all my stuff otherwise, and I decided to get some more stuff. I got an extra shrine done, I got an extra heart container, and then I went in and did the fight. It wasn't that hard at the end. I mean, it was climactic, and I definitely there were points where I struggled. Basically, once you have I didn't even have all I had to do was think it didn't even do that much damage overall. Mainly because I had good defensive items and I had defensive upgrades. And our defensive meals and whatnot, defensive effects with the meals, and then I just knew his attack pattern. And the first section of the fight, and it is cool though that his dodge mechanic, the Ganondorf freaking dodges, he has your abilities. It's really freaking cool. Because that's what you want. He's actually, especially the dodge mechanic, having him be able to do your dodge is amazing. It's so cool and so different, and it really throws you off a little bit. And especially now, it does kind of get I think the first actual section is really cool. In the second section, it starts amazing. You're like, oh crap! He's done. He's got more health. He's all that health. It's crap. And then, but I think the problem is, the only thing is I was able to figure the second section out really easy. Especially after the hardest part is getting with all those guys, when he has 5 doofuses with him. After you defeat those, then you start like wrecking face with him, and then he knocks out your companions, and then it's a one-on-one again, and he starts taking your hearts, not just like stopping your hearts. He like takes them off, so you're not even able to like recover the gloom hearts anymore, which that's cool. And I was able to, you know, but I was able to figure it out eventually. And a lot of his range attacks are really easy to dodge, and then I was able to just like kind of stall him out a little bit. But that was cool. And then he had the freaking dragon where you turn into a freaking dragon, combining that, and then you have the light dragon show up, and you have freaking Zelda show up with as a light dragon. And that fight, that's more of like it's kind of what did in Breath of the Wild, where like you already beat like the actual hard part. This is just the kind of like the epic cinematic finale. You can still fail, but it's not that, like, he only does like simple attacks, like simple orbs. Doesn't really do anything else. It's like within Breath of the Wild, where if you have that stinking once you beat like the final Ganon forms, you're done. Like you have like that final one where you have to get on the horse, and like, you know, here, let me just, we have to get on the horse and then shoot the arrows at him. But that's not that hard to dodge. Like, that's really easy. And the final dragon part was a very easy fight, like a really easy part. But it was epic. It had that cinematic look, and then you freaking do the final, and then you defeat him, and he's dead. And honestly, I do think the idea is like this might really be it for this area. I kind of get the story kind of is complete. Like, the idea is obviously Ganondorf's gonna come back, unless you have like if you come back, you have to come back to this world again, and you have to like Ganondorf is done. And there is the idea of the cycle, the continuous cycle, the hero versus Ganon with the princess. That's how it is. But the idea is that doesn't happen that's like a generational thing. And you had Breath of the Wild, which was, you know, kind of retconned, maybe not. It was more like, it was the idea of, that was because he was under there so much, like his power. And maybe as the seal, like, because Ganondorf was sealed for all those years, as the seal broke, his rage was so strong, and because he also had like the secret stone and whatnot, that his rage manifested into that's what it is. That's what happened. But we defeated him now, so Ganon is done, and that's so like Ganondorf can't come back. The idea is, while there is the continuous cycle versus the hero in Ganon, it's always like a once in a generation thing. Usually Ganon just doesn't come back instantly all the time. So that's how it is. So with how the final cutscenes really played it out, this seems like it's gonna be it for this version. This might be it for this version of Hyrule and this version of Zelda and this version of Link. Thing is, I would feel like especially because now Zelda games have voice acting, you kind of have to change voice actors now, because if you keep the same Zelda voice actor, people are just gonna assume. I mean, this thing is, Zelda timeline's always very weird, but at least usually the idea is Zelda's usually always really different in each game, so you kind of don't even notice. It's kind of easy to think of it as a different character. So we'll see what happens with that, but it's cool. It ends with a sick fight, and then the final few cutscenes are really nice, and the perfect endings are really cool. At least it brings back all the original champions, and it actually does play into the idea of like the original champions getting the champions. Oh crap! Getting the champions together. And that was a thing that was always been a part of Hyrule history in this version of Hyrule. It's really cool. So that's that. Done a little bit of explaining. I think I'm good now, though. So. There's freaking Demon Kings and Earth. I haven't done that. I have to do the final Master Koga missions because. But again, like this character, like Ganondorf is amazing with his designs and whatnot. It's freaking amazing design. The art direction in this game is also amazing, which is pretty sick, and the music as well is awesome. So. Yeah. Well, that's my ramble. I think if you liked, I think it improved on Tears of the Kingdom because I like in my games having bigger stories. I mean, I love Death Stranding. Like Death Stranding is my favorite game of all time, and that game has an amazing story, I think, and that's kind of what I like. You know, I like those in video games. I like gameplay as well, and like Death Stranding's gameplay is very unique, and the story ties into the gameplay. And that's what a video game story should be. It enhances the gameplay, and I think this one also does it. Having a story, improving on the mechanics. I think it's what a perfect sequel does, where it's directly building on like what came before, making it bigger, and adding new things, but also improving what was what I think was lacking in the original. And I love exploration. I mean, that's Zelda games are like like the open world games where actually love exploring. But I also think having a story is also helpful in both. I'm not gonna fight that doofus. I'm good. And I'm glad this game was made, and I will continue to play Zelda games. I'm not gonna play another. I don't want to be stupid and play another Zelda game right after this. I probably will play. I have all the Metal Gear games. I want to play through them finally. I hope this game. I think this game will win Game of the Year. I'm very much thinking it wins Game of the Year. Mainly also based on other factors, not just how. I think the game is amazing, and I think it deserves Game of the Year, and I think it will win. Especially if I would have said 100% if Baldur's Gate 3 did not come out this year. Now Baldur's Gate 3 might. I think it's like a 10% chance Baldur's Gate 3 wins. I voted for Tears of the Kingdom. I did all that because I want this to win. Obviously, who cares? It's a good game regardless. But I do think it's my game of the year. And I didn't really play that many games this year. The only games I really played this year, new games like Hogwarts Legacy, Jedi Survivor, and frickin' Tears of the Kingdom. Those are like only new games I really played this year. But it's really good. I think if you watch this whole freaking stream, well, you already got spoiled. But if you want to play it, I think it's a really good play. I mean, even if you don't know Breath of the Wild, it's still very good. And you can get, a story update. It's story in Breath of the Wild. It's really much non-existent, so you'll be fine with it. So I think this is a fantastic game. I'm gonna go to what I need to finish this off. I'm gonna probably finish the stream because I'm kind of getting thirsty, and I kind of just wanted to talk about the game and get a stream in. And I can talk about a game for a while, like especially while playing. And also I wanted to say that because basically what happens is right now, guys, is like I had a TV a while ago. Now I've got a gaming monitor, which is it's pretty cool, and it's allowed me to like reset up my desk. But I will be moving pretty soon. So, and that's gonna have a little bit of a different setup and stuff like that. So that's gonna be cool. I can't wait for that. But I'm trying to do a little bit more streams, and video wise, I have ideas for videos. I keep saying it. I don't know what they're gonna be. Well, I have an idea for a video that I really might do. Basically, it's a Beyblade video. That might sound stupid. It is, but it's freaking awesome. I'm talking about I've been rewatching the first 2 seasons of Beyblade Burst, and I watched episode 36 of season 2. It's very freaking good. Like, it's amazing. I'm very much enjoying the episode. I really much enjoyed the episode, and I want to talk about it. So that might be a video happening. I might not make videos. I might not release videos till next year because I'm trying to also set up like a better recording situation with like mic recording and whatnot. Because right now, actually, it would be hard to record like good audio because I have like a box full of like actual like soundproofing stuff that I put my mic into, and that's how I like record voiceovers and whatnot. And with the way I'm set up right now, it's hard for me to do that. But I'm planning on having an area where I would just have my mic set up. So if I record music or if I record just normal voiceovers, it'll be a lot easier. And that only can happen when we move into the new place. So that's not gonna happen for a bit. So I'm gonna probably work on writing the video because I really do want to write. I want to make this Beyblade video, so I'm probably gonna make it. But I want to work on writing it, and then probably in January I'll start recording it. So that's just that. Here's the Master Sword in the. Actually, I'm gonna go to the house. One thing I will end off with one thing, which the house mechanic is. I mean, I think the house. I didn't really mess around with the house mechanic too much. I made a simple house. Added like a few things that I wanted to have. So I wanted to have. I added a weapon display because I wanted to show weapons on display, and I have 3 weapons on display. And so this is where I'll end the stream, because I wanted again. I just wanted to talk. I wanted to talk about Tears of the Kingdom. I wanted to stream. I just will do both. I set up the stinking stream. Like this actually was a very easy setup to set up recording software. So I might be able to do more streams on Switch, because with my other setup, without the setup, it was kind of a pain in the rear. Let me just get some. Oh. Alright. This is what I have. I'm gonna take this weapon off here. We have the Fierce Deity sword, we have the Big Goron sword, and we have the Sword of the Six Sages. The 3 swords. I have these on display because I didn't want to. I really like these swords, and I have like other versions of these swords. Like this is one. This is actually a Fierce Deity sword. I don't have the Dusk Claymore or Sword of the Six Sages, but I wanted to have these on display. So this is where I'll end the stream here with these 3 swords, because they're really amazing. So, but yeah, that's my rambly thoughts on Stinking. Oh, there's a train coming. That's kind of funny. That's my rambly thoughts on Stinking Tears of Kingdom. I like it. I might play through the rest. I might play through all the shrines. That's pretty much what I would do, is get all the shrines, so I get that cool armor. But who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, expect more streams. Maybe not this soon, like super soon, but I would love to get more streams. And I am planning on doing a Christmas stream this year. I don't know what it would be, because it's just not exactly the. I mean, I don't know what I would stream it on. I don't really know if I don't even know I want to stream, like, I don't want to stream games, like story-based games especially, because I like to focus on the story and like focus on that, and I'm not going to commentate at the same time. I'm good at like doing this because I can just walk around and have fun and talk about random crap. But I want to do a Christmas stream, so I'll definitely try to do that. Otherwise, we'll see. But that's going to be it for today. I'm just going to go back to the... Oh, no, that. There we go. Strip prelude. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope it treats you all very well. And all that crap. God bless.